So I spent a lot of time trying to speak Fijian, but I'm not young, and so I wasn't blessed with the gift of tongues, unfortunately.
Well, the huge differences, but you stay in the same area and you have the same companion.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a missionary church. This is what it's about.
Hey Huya, I was just thinking, like, how old do you reckon you need to be to start saving up for a couples mission?
I don't know, I want to say like after you've gotten married, got a house and kids, but it might be smarter to even save before that. I don't know, I feel like you got to have the desire first. Like having a desire is the easiest part, you just got to get there later on in life, you know what I mean? Yeah, well, good thing we have Terry and Joanne Ball here today to talk about couples mission. Thanks for coming today.
Yeah, pleasure.
So I want to know, how did you know that you wanted to serve a couples mission?
So how I knew that I wanted to serve a mission, a couple mission, is because I served a mission myself when I was younger, and I loved it. I really, really loved it, and I missed it. I missed that mission. So I wanted to go again, and what better way than go with your husband? So that was the first thing, and the story about the two of us making that decision actually happened, was it the second date or first date?
I thought it was the first date
Maybe it was the first date.
because there might not have been a second date.
It was quite significant that he talked about it, because we were at a young woman's dance, and we were just sitting at the table and so on, and he started telling me that he was investing his money so that he would have enough money to serve a mission with his wife. And I went, wow, this is cool, because I had gone out with a couple of other guys and they didn't even think about a mission, well, taking their wives on a mission.
Yeah.
And but he is actually investing his money right now, right at that time, I mean, and that impressed me. That impressed me, because actually I hadn't thought about the money side of it until he said that. And I didn't tell him that I was impressed, but it opened up the door for me to go out with him more.
That's awesome. So you were saying you started planning and saving money for your couples mission when you were really young. What prompted you to save so early?
Well, it was obvious to me that lots and lots of older people, retired couples, who had a lot to offer in terms of being senior missionaries, didn't serve. And you question, well, why don't they serve? And you don't have to dig very deep to figure out that it's a financial thing. And I didn't want to be caught in that sort of trap. I wanted to be able to take care of that side of it, so that when the right time came, we could go.
May I ask, why was serving a couples mission important to you?
I'm a convert to the church, and I joined the church when I was 21. And I went on a mission because I felt like I was on the back step, everybody else was ahead of me when it came to testimonies and all that kind of stuff, and I wanted to know my Saviour, and I wanted to know him really well. And so when I served my mission, that goal was accomplished as I came to know my Saviour. And I just wanted to do it again. Like I said before, I just wanted to do it again because it was just a beautiful experience for me. Missions are not all uphill, rosy, fun experiences. You have lots of trials, but the spiritual growth and the relationship that you develop with our Saviour Jesus Christ, that you can't measure that. It's precious. And I wanted it. I wanted it again. I wanted to do it again.
And you got it.
Yeah. And I want to do it again and again. Yeah. Once the grandchildren are a bit older.
Yeah,
do some more.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Why was it important to you to serve a mission?
I served in the Sydney Mission, and I just wanted to repeat. This is a missionary church. This is what it's about. And you're surrounded by people who are doing their best and serving and sacrificing, and you want to contribute. You want to do what you can do. And I thought this is something I could do.
You served in Fiji.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. What is the application process like for a senior couple to go on a mission?
You going to answer this or shall I?
No, you can. Technical.
It's
Technical.
It's complicated. It's lengthy. You have to jump through a lot more hoops than single missionaries do. They require a much more stringent medical than a young single person. And you can understand why. As you get older, the body doesn't work as well, and I guess the church has learned over the years that senior missionaries have to be in reasonably good condition health-wise to survive their mission. So there's just lots and lots of things. And then when you finally get it all done, they give you lots of time, which we didn't need because we were well and truly ready to go. We were ready to go, thought we would go in June or July. As it turned out, we went in October. But they give you lots of time.
When you guys were on your mission, is it what you were expecting? Was it what you expected?
So it took a little while to figure out exactly what kind of role we played. He was fine. He was fine because he was the counsellor to the mission presidency. And so I'm sitting in there while he's been interviewed and saying, well, what do I do? and so they gave me, they said, get the people to minister, to do their ministering.
So we were busy, but as Joanne said, when you first start out, you're not quite sure. You're not quite sure how the people are going to respond. You're not quite sure how you're going to cope. Fiji is not New Zealand. It's a Pacific island country. It's in the tropics. We were on the island of Vanuatu, which is an underdeveloped part of Fiji. And so you've got to make all those adjustments as well. But having made those adjustments, it was great.
So you're talking about all the positive things happen on your mission. Was there any struggles that you experienced on your mission?
I think for me, the hardest thing was not speaking Fijian. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. Although most of the Fijians can speak English, you do have those that don't, particularly in the villages and so on.
The older ones, eh?
The older ones. And also the sacrament was always in Fijian and so on. And so I spent a lot of time trying to speak Fijian, but I'm not young, and so I wasn't blessed with the gift of tongues, unfortunately. I wish I was. But I tried, and I did get to the point where I could understand more than I could actually say.
Joanne did better than she admits. She did better than, I was quite impressed with the way she just learnt things that would be helpful. And so she learned a Book of Mormon approach in Fijian. And then as we drove, we would pick people up on the side of the road who were looking for a ride. That's standard procedure in Fiji. And I'd be driving and I would think to myself, how long is it going to take before the Book of Mormon approach starts? And then, sure enough, she'd sort of soften the people up, ask them about their family, how many children have you got, and they start talking, and this is all in Fijian. So she did extremely well. Much better. She did much better than, well, you did better than you're willing to say. I was very proud of what you meant. I just couldn't get my head around it. It was beyond me. Fijian is a blend of Polynesian, Micronesian and Melanesian languages. So although the rules are similar, it's just got lots of little tricky things in it that don't fit Polynesian languages, which we're much more familiar with here in New Zealand.
So those were like the trials. How much difference is it between being a junior missionary and a couple missionary? There must be so much differences, would you say?
Well, the huge differences, but you stay in the same area and you have the same companion.
Yeah, 18 months.
That's a long time.
Dangerous.
So those are major differences. But you don't have all the rules that the young missionaries have to live by. So we would go to a district activity, and there'd be a dance, and we'd be dancing, and there'd be a beach activity, and not so much me, but Joanne was always in the water with the youth.
I think working with the junior missionaries was a real highlight for us.
We loved it.
We had, in Suva, we had the zone leaders, we had a set of sister missionaries, and we also worked with missionaries throughout the different branches. And then we'd always have dinner with the missionaries on a Sunday, and so they got a good roast chicken. I cook on a Sunday at home is what I cook there, which they enjoyed, having a bit of Palangi food.
Some food that they would have had if they were at home.
And we'd go fellowshipping with them, you know, so when they had somebody, we had one sister who joined the church, and she lived just a little way down from us, and so I'd go with the sisters and be the fellowshipper, and that was the best part. Being able to see those people into the waters of baptism. It's just beautiful. No greater joy, it says, doesn't it?
No greater joy. No greater joy. And each one of those conversions had a little miracle associated with it. And each one had really good member support. Can't emphasize that enough. I mean, we did our part, but the members of the branch also more than did their part.
Do you want to share any of those experiences about your conversion, baptizing people?
Well, Bumba and his family, which was the one that Joanne alluded to.
Go ahead.
I'll talk, all right. We picked him up on the side of the road, and he is from the village of Naweni, which was about 45 minutes from Savu, where we lived, and he needed to go into Savu, which is the main town in that area. So we picked him up and just started talking to him, and he was just absolutely adamant that we must come back and see his family. And he described the house, but the description didn't help me, but Joanne really remembered it. He said, "The blue house." The blue house. There's no street names or numbers. No, so it's just the blue house. And interestingly, when we did go back that way, there it was, and not near the road. You just had to look well down off the road, and there was the blue house. So we pulled in and went down and met the family, and that's how it started. We covered some of the basics of the gospel with them, and then had the elders who were serving from the Tukavesi branch. They came in and they finished the teaching because their Fijian was pretty good, and they all got baptized.
It's our family. One of the families that were really special to us. Mrs. Bumba and his family here.
Big family.
Big family, yeah. Was it seven children?
Yeah. This one's our friend. She's not part of the family, but this is part of the family. This one here, he can play the guitar so well.
Oh, yes.
They used to have their baptism there, and Terry baptised.
Wow.
But they used to have church in their own home, because they didn't really want to go to any of the other churches. They were trying to find one, I guess, for themselves, so they just had church at home.
Oh, tell them about Angela.
Oh yeah, Angela, she had been fasting, hadn't she, for 6 months or more, and trying to find a church to go to. That's his wife there, Angela.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know the order of things, but she had just finished her fast, and the missionaries turned up at her door, and she said, "This must be the church I've got to go to."
Yeah.
So that would have been after we had referred them on to the elders.
Onto the Tukavesi elders, yeah.
I can't remember what the order went, but very, very special to us.
As you serve in the church as an adult, you get a lot of different callings. You have a lot of experience, and without even realizing it, you're growing, you're learning, and you get to that point where you can serve as a senior missionary. and you don't realize just how much you have to offer. Now for myself, I'd been a stake clerk for a long time. I'd been a councillor in the stake presidency, and then I get into the mission field, and on day 2 I'm called as a councillor in the mission presidency with a lot of those same responsibilities that I'd had in the stake presidency and in the stake office. And so I was just drawing on all the things that I'd learned over those years and being able to apply them in the mission field. It never occurred to me that that would be the case. And for Joanne, she was the Stake Relief Society president before we went and had spent a couple of years training, working in the wards, helping people understand ministering, particularly the sisters, and what they needed to do and how to do it. She arrives in the mission field, and President Higgins, our mission president, says to her, "I want you to concentrate on ministering." And so we arrived in the mission field already, without thinking about it too much, prepared. There's nothing unique about us. There's lots and lots of senior couples with more than we have to offer who could serve and contribute in a variety of different ways.
Well, we're coming to the end of our discussion. So I think one of our last questions is, do you have any advice for any couples that are preparing to go on a mission or maybe thinking about it?
Yes. Do it. That's the best
Good
advice we
advice.
can give,
Yeah.
is do it.
Yeah.
And don't let the family who need grandma for this or granddad for that, don't let that be a barrier. They can get through it. They can manage without you for the period of time you serve. And seniors can serve 6, 12, 18 or 23 months. You choose your time. We served for 18 months. But sometimes families put pressure on parents and grandparents, and so they stay home because of that. That could have happened to us, but our children just knew where we're going.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming today. It was really awesome to hear about your experiences and thoughts and advice. It was really interesting to learn about how a mission can make a marriage stronger and bring two individuals closer together and closer to Heavenly Father. Yeah, what did you learn?
Yeah, I'm so grateful for you guys and for your experiences you shared. I really like how you guys taught us about how it doesn't matter about the money, and that no matter what situation you're in, there's always something that you can do to help. And I really love that. And yeah, it was amazing having you guys here.
Well, thanks again for coming, and that's us.
Yeah, that's us.
Cool.
See ya, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey fams, like and comment down below.
What are you waiting for? Just hit the subscribe button.
Hit it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.